Let's get one thing straight from the jump. The reason most men suffer in relationships isn't because they're not attractive. It's not because they lack money, status, or charm. It's because they chase, they pursue, beg, overextend. They put women on pedestals and shrink themselves in the process. And deep down, they know it's killing them, but they can't stop because they've been conditioned to believe that chasing is love, that persistence is masculine, that if you just show her how much you care, she'll finally choose you. But here's the brutal truth. A man who chases is a man who doesn't understand his value, because when you know who you are, you don't run after people. You attract them. You don't beg for love. You command respect. You don't prove your worth. You embody it. Let me break this down for you step by step, so that after this video, chasing women will feel like a foreign language. First, understand this core truth. Women respond to how you make them feel. Not how much you do, not how often you text, not how many compliments you throw her way. It's all about energy. And chasing screams one thing: I'm not enough on my own. When you pursue too hard, too fast, too often, you don't look confident. You look insecure. You don't look like a high-value man. You look like someone who's desperate to be chosen, and the moment she feels that, her attraction drops. The feminine is drawn to strength, mystery, presence, not pressure. She wants to feel your gravity, not your anxiety. When you chase, you remove the tension. You kill the polarity. Think about it. When someone hands you everything without making you earn it, do you value it? Number, because value is tied to effort, to emotional investment. And if you're doing all the chasing, she's doing none of the choosing. That's not chemistry, that's imbalance. Stop trying to be the nice guy who proves himself. Because here's the reality. Nice guys don't finish last because they're kind. They finish last because they're spineless. They tolerate disrespect. They reward bad behavior. They hope that being available all the time will win her over. But women don't crave comfort. They crave emotional stimulation. They want to feel your edge. And you can't be edgy if you're always accommodating, if you're always available, if you never pull back. A woman respects a man who respects his time, his purpose, his boundaries. If you drop everything for her, you're teaching her that your life revolves around her. And nothing kills attraction faster than a man with no orbit of his own. You don't need to chase love. You need to become someone who's too focused, too grounded, too damn full to feel empty without someone else's approval. A man who chases hasn't mastered detachment. He's still outcome dependent, still tied to whether she replies, still tied to whether she chooses him. But a masculine man doesn't need to be chosen. He chooses. He chooses who gets access. He chooses what energy he allows into his world. And if a woman pulls back, he doesn't sprint after her. He observes. He watches her pattern. And if her energy no longer aligns with his standards, he walks. Silently, powerfully, without resentment, because that's leadership, that's emotional strength. Here's what makes you magnetic: not your car, not your jawline, not your bank account, though those help. It's your centeredness, your ability to remain still when she's spinning, your refusal to break character, your calm in her chaos. Because here's the twist most guys miss. When you chase a woman who's unsure about you, you're validating her indecision. You're feeding her ego. You're proving that she can disrespect your time and still keep you around. That's not attractive. That's weak. And if she senses weakness, she'll keep testing. She'll delay texting back. She'll keep you in limbo. She'll say, "I'm not ready," but expect you to wait around. Let me be clear. If a woman wants you, you'll know. If she's unsure, you'll feel it. So stop playing detective. Start playing king. The king doesn't chase. He invites. He allows people into his world, but only those who bring value, who bring peace, who match his standard. If she's not bringing that, you remove your energy, not to manipulate, not to teach her a lesson, but because your presence is a privilege, not a consolation prize. You don't lose women by being less available. You lose them by being too available. You don't lose women by setting standards. You lose them by having none. You don't lose women by being emotionally centered. You lose them by being emotionally chaotic. The chase ends the moment you realize that your value doesn't need validation. It's felt, it's embodied. You are the mountain, unmoved by the storm. You don't need to prove your worth. You don't need to explain your value. You live it, and she will feel that in every interaction. So from now on, you don't double text. You don't ask why she pulled away. You don't chase after mixed signals. You observe. You respond with strength. And you pull back when her energy doesn't meet your level. You don't punish. You don't plead. You lead. And if she's the right woman, she will meet you in your strength, not ask you to collapse into hers. You're not the man who chases anymore. You're the man who attracts. You're not the man who begs to be seen. You're the man who moves in silence and power. And from this day forward, every woman who enters your life will feel that shift. You don't need to convince her. You just need to become him, the man who never chases because he's too busy building an empire she wants to be part of. And here's the part they don't teach you. Chasing isn't just a behavior. It's a mindset. It's rooted in scarcity, in fear, in the belief that if you don't act now, she'll disappear. But the truth is, what's meant for you won't require begging, won't require force, won't require you to bend over backwards to be seen. When you believe in abundance, in your own value, you move differently. You know that if she walks away, another will align. You know that attraction isn't forced, it's felt. So you stop proving, you stop explaining, you start embodying. You walk into every room like you belong there. You carry yourself like a man with purpose, with vision, with focus. And you understand that women are drawn to that naturally, not because you're chasing them, but because you're chasing greatness. That's the paradox. The more you chase them, the less they want you. The more you chase yourself, the more they feel compelled to be part of your story. So focus on becoming, focus on building, focus on mastering your craft, your health, your discipline, because the man who is full, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, doesn't seek to be completed by someone else. He's already complete. And that, more than anything, is what draws her in. Not the gifts, not the effort, but the energy. She'll test your frame. She'll pull back to see if you chase. She'll give you silence to see if you fold. And every time you remain still, every time you choose peace over panic, every time you choose purpose over pursuit, you rise in value. Not just in her eyes, but in your own. You become the man who never needs to chase because his life is already running at full speed. And if she wants in, she'll have to catch up. That's the standard. That's the energy. And that's how you win. So remember this. You don't chase women. You don't chase love. You chase your mission. And when you do, love will find you. Not because you begged for it, but because you became worthy of it. Be that man. Live that truth. And never look back. Because when you truly stop chasing, something incredible happens. You elevate. You shift from needing validation to radiating value. You become the type of man she can't ignore, because your energy speaks louder than any words ever could. Your silence holds weight. Your absence has presence. You stop trying to be chosen and start becoming the one who chooses. And that shift, that's the power most men never tap into, but you will, because now you know the truth. The man who chases remains a boy, as seeking approval, grasping for attention. But the man who walks in purpose and quiet confidence and unshakable calm, he is the storm. He doesn't beg to be loved. He is love. He doesn't ask to be noticed. He commands attention simply by existing in his truth. So let them wonder why you don't chase. Let them question your silence. Let them feel the weight of your standards. Because in the end, your power lies in your refusal to shrink, to conform, to chase. Let them come to you. And when they do, you'll decide if they're worth the kingdom you've built. Never chase women. Build your kingdom and let her find her way to your throne.